on this month's Regional Artist Spotlight in conjunction with Flash Entertainment. I'm so excited to have him on because I've seen him perform many, many times, born and bred in Dubai. He is a huge regional talent. Welcome to Regional Artist Spotlight, Abri.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
It's such a pleasure to have you on, Hamdan, because I have seen you perform many, many times. When was that moment you realized growing up that you sort of wanted to get into music and pursue music?
Well, I was singing a lot in high school. You know, disrupting the classes, math class especially. And one day, one of my friends thought I had a decent voice and I should join a music club. And that's when it kind of started the ball rolling. I was singing Michael Jackson songs, and
Wow.
people thought I had a decent voice. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should pursue this as a serious thing. Yeah.
So you are obviously Emirati and you're born and bred in Dubai. How was that when you told your parents you wanted to pursue a career in music? Were they accepting? Were they open to it? Or
Yeah, I mean, it took a little while to convince them. I think once they kind of saw how serious I was,
yeah.
in doing the music and recording and performing. Once they started seeing me in publications and on the radio and TV, they're like, okay, maybe this is something that he's really passionate about. Because I was doing art before that, visual art.
Right. So you've always been quite creative.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they realized that this is what he wants to do, and he's stubborn about it. So let him do it as long as he's happy.
And the music that you create is quite cool. It's quite unique. I've seen you perform many times live. How would you describe the music that you create and you perform?
Well, I always say that the foundation of my music is soul music, jazz, obviously, but I try to incorporate different styles of music, funk,
Yeah.
rock as well, hip hop as well. But the foundation of it is always reggae as well. I love reggae music, so
Yeah.
I try to incorporate all those genres in it as well. But the foundation of it is soul music.
And is there a huge platform for what you call soul music here in the UAE? Like, is there a lot of that?
I was just having a conversation with one of my friends. I mean, it's a very niche, genre as far as me, because obviously we're in the UAE, so Khaliji music and Emirati music is the top dog as far as as far as music. But it's great to see that my Emirati brothers and sisters and the people who are living in the UAE that it's something that they're into. I mean, every time I perform, I see all different cultures and ages of people listening to it. So it's definitely something that people are into, but it's definitely a niche,
Yes.
a niche genre of music here in the UAE.
Have you considered sort of making that a little bit more sort of commercial, or is soul not really that?
No, so I mean, soul can definitely be commercial. I mean, commercial in the sense where it's popular. I mean, there's artists such as her.
Oh, yes,
Such as Leon Bridges, and they're doing John Legend as well. I mean,
Yes.
so they're all doing soul music to some degree, and there's definitely a little place for us as far on the charts, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how would you describe your creative process? So for something, I've seen you perform at, for example, the Formula One and many different stages across the UAE. How would you describe that creative process? Because you seem very connected and personal with your music.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to make sure that whatever I create as far as music, it has to come from a good place, which is
Yes.
from here, you know. So whatever I talk about is either my experience of what is going on in the world, or what I wanted to kind of highlight as far as what is going on in the world. So I mean, I always wanted to make sure that whatever music that I do, that is coming from a good place.
Yeah.
And it's highlighting things that I'm concerned about, or things that I want to talk about. Or
That's important to
yes,
you.
yeah, absolutely.
And I guess the pandemic was hard for a lot of artists, especially artists who mainly perform live.
Right.
What was that like for you? Because you did mention that it was a bit of a difficult time for you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was going through my own, internal, battles even before that, even before the COVID.
Yeah.
And I think COVID just amplified everything. I was, really into emotional eating, and I was trying to, use food as something that would calm my anxiety and whatever and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it was a rough time, and obviously the fact that we couldn't perform as well as musicians,
Yeah.
it all culminated into this deep hole that I was getting into. Now I'm sure a lot of people and musicians were in it as well. So
Yeah.
so that's why I said this year that I would kind of switch my mental, my mindset, where I only allow positive energies and positive vibration through, and ignore, and and uh, and not give not give attention to negative thoughts. So so far it's been a blessing. It seems to be working. Obviously, I have my ups and downs,
Yeah, as we all
like
do,
every
yeah.
other human being, but it's working. I think waking up and having that positive mindset every day, and being grateful of the good things that are happening in your life, and appreciating those rather than dwelling on the bad things is helping a lot. And
Yeah.
that's why I came up with the song.
This song that we're going to
Yes.
go into very shortly. Let's talk about mental health, I guess, with men. Do you find it's more difficult for men to talk about mental health?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a day, a really old thing where men are supposed to be tough and not talk about their feelings, and I love the fact that now it's changing where men are allowed to
Yeah.
emote and show they show their vulnerable side.
Yeah.
When they're not doing okay, it's okay for them to talk about it, and that's why now I'm kind of like I would never have would have mentioned the fact that I was going through a mental state back in the day. I would have just said, "Yo,
I'm
I was a
good.
different.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm better now."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's important for us brothers to highlight the fact that we have ups and downs just like everybody else, and it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to be in those situations, and just as long as you don't stay there forever.
And what kind of things do you do now that help you? Like if someone was listening to this and they're sort of having ups and downs, how do they pull themselves out of that? What sort of things do you do on a daily basis that help you with that?
I think the first thing is waking up with a positive mindset, just knowing that you've been blessed with another day, and just be grateful that you're here, and that you have something to share with the world. That's the first off. Having loved ones for support, who are there to kind of help you when you're down. I think that's super important. Try to exercise and be active, and just and I think concentrating on your passions
Yeah.
are super important. Obviously, there's life kind of takes different routes sometimes, and you kind of have to worry about other things as far as money and everything else. But giving time to your hobbies and your passions is very important. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
that sums it up.
That's a very wise advice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think mental health affects us all. It's something that we all sort of need to rein in and take
Right.
control over. And I think, when we have, like you said, positive thoughts, you channel that energy into different things like exercise.
Yes.
During the pandemic, I sort of had a difficult time as well, as we all did, and so
Yeah.
I channeled that into poetry.
Amazing.
So I had a little poetry book being released, but I found
Oh, that's
that
great.
really sort of helped me. I think any sort of creative process with art or music, writing, really sort of helps, and exercise, as you
Yeah,
said. as well.
exactly. I think COVID in general just kind of was a positive awakening for a lot of people. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it kind of just made them reassess their lives and
Yeah.
where they are, and then work on being in a better place, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about this new song, Higher, which is which is all about that. I guess it's the positive outcome of that.
Yeah. So Higher Breathe Easy is a celebration of that breakthrough. Uh, Saying that, I mean, I don't want people thinking that I'm always positive now and
Yes.
everything's is
There's a
flowers
switch.
and roses. I mean, obviously, I still go through my ups and downs, and things are not always peachy and amazing. But with the Higher,
Yeah.
I wanted to celebrate that breakthrough, and I wanted to tell my brothers and sisters that we're in this together.
Yeah.
When you're going through hard times, you're not alone. I mean, people
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there who are having those same thoughts, who are having those same battles in within themselves. So it's okay, and we can uplift each other, and we can take each other higher, and rest assured that you can sometimes you can let go of those heavy loads on your shoulders and breathe easy.
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I worked on it on me and a producer friend of mine, Colin James, and he sent me the track a while ago, and I was like, oh, I don't know, it's a little too upbeat. It's not really my thing. I'm more melancholic. That's the kind of type that I. So he sent me the track, and it was staying in my hard drive for a while, and then recently I kind of brought it up, and I was like, man, I have this melody that I have, and it just kind of flowed out of me, which rarely, I mean, it happens, but it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
And it felt really good. So I knew then and then that I had something special. Yeah.
Have you performed that live?
Oh,
before?
definitely.
Right.
Yeah. I performed it a few times live already, and it's been amazing. It's a whole it's a whole energetic thing. Like
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the studio track and the way I perform it live is two completely different things.
Yeah. What did
But
that
same
feel like?
message.
Because I guess that's kind of, you know, like you've now come to the other side of that journey, and it must feel amazing performing that live.
No, it feels great. Like for me, as far as making music, as long as it feels good to me, I know when I perform it live, I'll be able to translate that and obviously bring my brothers and sisters with me, you know.
Yeah.
So I knew already that the song was amazing. I just had to make sure that I translated well live as far as
Right.
arrangement and stuff. And it's been amazing so far. Yeah. Getting my brothers and sisters to
Vibrate higher.
Yes, yeah, and call and response as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody, you know, who's listening in the UAE who wants to get into the, you know, the music sphere, and because now you're a huge talent here regionally, what would you say to them if they're trying to find their place in the music industry?
I would say always this is something that I always say is always stay true to yourself. Never try to conform to what other people are, want you to be, or who you should be, and then do whatever creative thing you want to do. Is maybe music, fashion, art, whatever it is, do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're doing it because it fulfills you first and foremost, and it there's a piece of your soul in whatever you do. Don't do it for the fame and money and whatever else that comes with that. That's all secondary, and that's fine. And put in the hard work. Put in the hard work. Put in the time. Put in the 10,000 hours, as they say, into your craft. And make sure that that you're making sure that you're honing your craft.
Absolutely.
I think that's very important. Yeah.
Where can we see you perform live in the next couple of months, the next coming months?
Yeah, so I got my regular residency that I do at Indochine every Saturday. It's a brunch performance that we do, which is amazing. It's a 4-piece band, and then end of October, 21st to 23rd, I'm playing at the Realm Fest.
Yes, wow.
Yeah, at the point, it's gonna be me and a few other artists. They're gonna be performing, showcasing and stuff, and there'll be a little surprise on the day of, between the 21st and 23rd
Love
of
it.
October. Yeah.
Wonderful. Where can we follow you online as well?
Yeah, so I'm trying to be a little more active on social
It's
media.
important. It's important, Abri.
Yeah, so I'm mostly active on Instagram.
Love it.
Abri.music.
Great.
ABRI.music.
Yes.
I'm on Twitter, but I don't really use that much. I just recently joined TikTok.
Okay.
and I have no idea what I'm doing, so it's a learning curve. And then I'm on Facebook as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
on
so much
Virgin
for having me,
Radio.
Maz. I
Really
appreciate
a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.